Here's a tip for playing with a passion that never ends. One of the things I've always heard about is potential. I don't know about you, it's a dreaded word, potential. You have such great potential. You could be this, you could be that. And what's so hard about that is they're already expecting you to be perfect, and meanwhile you haven't even started, but yet the expectation is somehow you have to get there. What has helped me a little bit is one of the parables in Scripture. It's Matthew 25:14-30. It's called the Parable of the Talents. And I just love the story because it's very simple. It's about 3 servants who are called in as a master is leaving. And he gives them these bars of silver. They're called talents at the time. And he gives them these talents. And the first guy comes in, he gives him 5. Second one comes in, he gives him 2. Third guy comes in, he gives him 1. Goes away for a long time, he finally returns, and then he says, call in my servants, I want an accounting of what they did. So they call in the first one that he gave the 5 to, and he says, give me an accounting. And again, I'm paraphrasing here, but he says, well, while you were away, I traded, I did this and that, I've doubled them, here's 10. He says, good and faithful servant, you are good in these small things, I'm going to give you great responsibilities, enter into your master's joy. He calls in the second servant, who, by the way, he only gave 2 talents to. And what I like about this parable, by the way, is not everybody got the same thing. Everybody was given according to their abilities. So here he had the 2 talents, and he says, give me an accounting. He says, well, again, I'm paraphrasing, while you were away, I traded, I did this and that, I've doubled them, here's 4. He says, which is interesting to me, the same thing. He says, good and faithful servant, you were good in these small things, I'm going to give you great responsibilities, enter into your master's joy. He calls in the third one, who he had given 1 talent to, and he says to him, give me an accounting. This one says to him, basically, I know you're a rough taskmaster. I know you reap where you didn't sow, and so I was kind of fearful, so I buried it in the ground. I've dug it back up. Here's back your 1 talent. He looks at that person and says, you wretch. That was not your talent. That was my talent. You had no right to bury that in the ground. He said, take this guy and throw him out in the darkness where there's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. The message there? You've been blessed with many skills, talents, and abilities. You're called to use all of those talents. Not just the talent bars, but the talents that you've been blessed with. You're called to use those to the best of your ability, and there's going to be an accounting at the end of your life about what you did with what God gave you. You're a steward of it. Take good care of it. Until next time, take care and God bless.